Mario Andretti came in to see him the other day, and he wrote Mario. He's wrote "I love you," and all the yes and no answers are usually pretty correct. So we're pretty happy about that. And he's been trying to talk, and he's been trying to walk, and the whole staff at the hospital and the rehab center are really up on his progress.
Well, all I can say is on behalf of all of us, Paige, I know you're watching. We are pulling for you, partner. Want to see you back here real soon. Thanks, Brunel.
Well, I'll second that. There's his brother doing a great job trying to win the race for Paige today. Paige, of course, injured in a sprint car at Eldora Speedway in Rossburg, Ohio. Actually a Silver Crown car, wasn't it, at Eldora. The first time he'd ever been one, and went out there and set the track record, was fast qualifier. I mean, he's just a remarkable race car driver, and everybody is very pleased.
This was going to be Paige's ride here, the #1 truck.
Yeah, exactly right.
And PJ's kind of filling in for him until he gets back.
And doing a pretty decent job.
Doing a really good job.
So they're forming up for the restart. Now, the trucks have all gotten fresh rubber and whatever other chassis adjustments they wanted to make. And I guess to some extent that's got to be a guessing game. I mean, we heard a couple of guys talking about the oil on the racetrack. The other factor here is that you get a big temperature change when you run late in the day in the desert. Here's how the restart order will work, but I wonder how much of a factor that's going to be. They start on a hot racetrack, 86 degrees. That sun gets down a little bit, it's going to cool off fast.
Exactly. I think the racetrack will be a little tighter now. It's a little cooler. If the trucks was loose earlier, they should be just fine. If they were too tight earlier, they needed to loosen them up a little bit.
Whatever adjustments they elected to make have been made, so now it is pretty much in the hands of the drivers. 99 tours of the 3/8 mile oval to go. If the first 101 were any indication, I think we'll see a fair number of body slams and body checks, and they'll ding up a few truck fenders before they're finished. But bottom line, we should see an exciting finish indeed. Now, Pirelli has come down into the middle of the traffic on the bottom. He's just looking for his place to get in line. Yeah, we're still a couple of laps away. So there are 16 trucks on the lead lap. Spotters are hanging over the fence with what may be the best seat in the house. They're at least close to the action. Marty Reed, what you got down there?
Well, remember when you were a kid and you wanted to sneak into the ball game and you had to peer through the fence because you didn't have the money to get in? Well, that's what this reminds me of. And you're right, some of the spotters have moved because they wanted to be closer in case their truck had troubles. So these guys have all climbed up on the fence. This is right behind turn 2, and you can see a whole row of them up here. Cheap seats. It's not real comfortable, but it's very effective if your man's in trouble.
Next time we come back, Marty, get the arch support concession. I'm sure we can pick up a few extra bucks on the side. The big question in my mind is the number 75 of Bill Sedgwick. He didn't sound 100% confident that he could hang on to that lead, but I thought he did a terrific job getting to the lead. As we get some idea of the glare here from the onboard camera, particularly as they get down here into turn 3. I'd like to get your take, Eldon Sawyer, on the race leader here. Do you think he can hang on to it?
Bill Sedgwick, I was really impressed. That interview, if you noticed, there was a big smile on his face.
Yeah. So you're thinking
I think he's a good poker player.
You didn't give us the whole story. Around the pace car and back to pick up the tail end of the field goes the Dodge of Walker Evans. We are very close to a restart here. Sedgwick will lead it. It's fascinating to me that a crew chief can jump into the pilot's seat, but it's not unheard of in this field. We've got a couple of guys who have done that. Dave Resendez is not having a great day in Jeff Bodine's Ford, but he is the crew chief on that number 7.
Exactly.
Truck.
Dave has done some Busch Grand National racing. Well-known modified driver from up north, and he is the crew chief on the truck when Jeff is driving it.
He may lose that ride, however. He will lose it to Bodine when Jeff is loose on Winston Cup weekends. But Jeff is also planning to put his son in that truck.
So Dave may be the number 3 driver.
He may end up being the number 3 driver. Good thing he's got a crew chief check to fall back on, because his driver employment with that group is obviously only periodic. They do have a little oil on the racetrack. They're still cleaning up in turn 2. So we'll seize a quick break and come back with more. Stay with us. Petty's still jumping up and down. Bobby Hamilton qualified 4th. That's a great run. That team's all pumped.
Oh, they're really getting it together. Last week at Bristol, he ran awful strong, and great qualifying effort at Wilkesboro.
We're still under yellow here because after the 15-minute break, one of the cars came back out and basically roiled down the. I didn't call it a car, did I?
I think you did.
It's a truck.
I was getting ready to correct you, but you corrected yourself.
It's a truck. Anyway, it was the truck. Anyway, the truck leaked. The truck leaked oil on the racetrack, and so they have had to put a little more the speedy dry back out. Got a glimpse there of Gary Collins, number 74, up on the outside. He's actually having a great run here. He's moved from 14th to 7th. We talk about crew chiefs. This guy's a truck builder. In fact, he built the very first super truck and decided, hey, if you're going to build him, you might as well get on the fun part too. And he's doing a good job.
He's doing a great job. You know, after qualifying, like you say, 14th, he's up to 7th. Not only is he a good car builder, he's a pretty good driver.
Take a look at that truck and keep in mind the mentality of the man who puts his heart and soul into the construction of the vehicle, the man who cares about the mechanical thing, this wonderful creation. It doesn't have a mark on it. He's not out there beating the fenders off of it like some of these guys. He's taking care of his equipment.
He may have to go home and fix it. That's the reason why he's not beating the fenders off of it.
He's got her from 14th to 7th, as we say. Wait a minute. That right front corner bent up just a little bit. I don't think anybody's going to get out here with all the body panels straight here today. You got a glimpse of number 20, Walker Evans, taking his position back on the tail end of the field. We're getting close to the restart. They're working in the speedy dry. Put me in the driver's seat and talk me through the mindset. Now, what are you thinking, knowing there's just 99 to go?
Well, we've got 100 laps, or 101 laps behind us. These guys have made all the adjustments. Wedge, put it in, took it out, maybe put a spring rubber in. It's time to go racing now. They can't hold back anymore. Let's get after it.
Green flies, and we're back underway. Lap 102. Lead trio working around the outside of the lap track.
Turn 2.
That's Hornaday on the bottom. Is he going to squeeze
Hornaday at the bottom.
Nice decision.
He's made it.
Not only that, but he got PJ with that lapper in between him there for just a moment.
The thing is, PJ really needs to be careful here. Needs to be careful. He can get over anxious and get himself in trouble. Good job there.
And also getting around is Ruttman. So Ruttman will move up to 4th. Corelli got around PJ as well. The traffic really caught Jones out that time. And the leader,
Ron's going underneath Sedgwick.
Did they fix that thing or what? Onboard shot from the new leader for the first time today. Ron Hornaday just drove around Bill Sedgwick, and PJ has a problem. You got just a glimpse of the number 1 truck.
Oh, a little touch there, looked like.
This is outside the race.
Left rear tire looks like it may be flat on PJ's truck.
What a heartbreak. Marty Reed is there.
Well, he's had a left rear tire go down. It's coming off. I'm looking for it right now. I don't know whether he ran over something awfully hot.
Meanwhile, back on the racetrack, Steve Portingay has spun.
We don't have a caution.
No yellow. They're signaling him to hurry, and he's just going to make it. He's back underway just as the leaders come around. Portingay spun her out, didn't hit anything. Green stays out. Hornaday, the new leader. PJ in trouble.
We do have caution now.
Now caution for number 37. That's Bob Strait, short track veteran, hitting the wall a ton.
We sure did.
Sparks fly for Strait.
I don't know if they'll be able to fix that one there, Dave.
Well, it'll take a while. He's certainly, I don't think so. That would be a waste of time, wouldn't it? Too bad for Bob Strait. He had a pretty decent run going here today, starting with qualifying. Let's see how it happened.
It's like Steve in the 83 truck just lost it coming off of turn 4.
This is Portingay. Yeah, this is
Steve
not
Portingay.
Strait. Well, now maybe Strait got involved in this. Let's see. I don't think so. This is Portingay on the front chute. And the flagman, who's a story in his own right, Alan Porter, is motioning him, go, get that thing fired up, get it out of the way. Here's Teague, another short track veteran, all beat up in the left rear as a result of a separate incident. And so with the field regroup, and they're going to put a little more speedy dry out. There's a lot of oil on this racetrack.
Sure is.
And
I don't know if that's causing a lot of these problems, a lot of the wrecks. The racetrack may be awful slick.
They're going to black flag, I would assume, probably Kerry Teague.
The left rear quarter panel's clean off of it. They're going to need to get in to get that taken off for sure.
Don't want that flopping and flailing around out there. Let's go back to Marty in the pits for a quick update.
Remember, guys, like I said, I couldn't see if it had been cut down. Well, here was the problem. Take a look at the valve stem. As somebody must have gotten inside. You can see some paint rubbed off here. This valve stem's completely gone. This one's bent and broken. And then, of course, the rest of the tire just went away. Elton, you ever have that happen to you?
I sure have, Marty. That's a good point. I think exactly what happened there. The 51 truck of Kerry Teague trying to get a lap back. I think we mentioned on it earlier. They were 3 wide. May have got in the left rear. PJ cut that valve stem.
PJ's back out there, but he'll have lost, I don't know, 4 or 5 laps, I suppose, now. 3 laps down for PJ.
He's just racing now to get those valuable points.
Well, and a very good point indeed, because the point leader coming in here, Skinner, blew up early. The next 4 guys in the point standings from Phoenix were all Winston Cup guys who were racing at North Wilkes. So really, it's a brand new season in terms of the championship, and getting all the points you can get out of here with will be
The guys that are racing here today are the ones that are going to get all the notoriety and the points for the championship.
We'll be right back. It's a hockey game right here. Speed World comes to Tucson, the racing champions 200. And riding with the leader, Ron Hornaday, you watch the former leader, B.J. Jones, struggle now. 3 laps in arrears. Fast truck, but he lost those laps in the pits. Right now, he may stand as a bit of a barrier between the second place man, Rick Corelli, and third place, Bill Sedgwick, as they try to get
going down to the bottom. He's trying to get one of those 3 laps back. He don't have any time to waste. He's going to run as hard as he can run for as long as he can run.
See that little touch? It was so subtle. That's close.
That was a Dale Earnhardt move on a Dale Earnhardt truck.
Yeah, Hornaday's probably prepared for that one, right? No harm done. BJ glued to the bottom. This allows Corelli.
Ooh, they touch a little bit there.
Man, look at that.
PJ wants that lap back.
That's a great looking truck. Now, this one is called Big D, I believe. This one's named for the car owner, but the other truck...
The flame coming out of the tailpipe there.
Yeah, that's
what
weird.
that is just excess fuel that's in the tailpipes. It's just burning. It's really no big problem.
No big problem. The other truck, they've got 2 here. The other one is called Neon Leon. It's named after the crew chief. They're having a lot of fun with the football player's name and the paint job. And he's going to try to get that lap back on the inside. Gives the leader another little nudge.
Smart move on Ron Hornaday's part. Let him go.
He let him go. Meanwhile, just as we complimented Gary Collins on keeping that truck in one piece, he has skated along the wall and scraped her up a little bit. He's won a couple of Winston West races in addition to his truck.
And he couldn't get into pit. He needs to make another lap. The pit's on the outside of turn 2. He couldn't get up. He's got to make another lap now.
And Hornaday has managed to get Corelli back behind him in the shuffle of the traffic. The first truck in line is now 2 laps down.
And he would love to see a caution right now. That would be...
We got just a glimpse of number 74, Collins, going to the pits.
Rick Corelli down to the bottom.
On some of this stuff.
Sure does. They've been touched a little bit there.
From 13th starting spot, number 6, Rick Corelli. We've got a spun car on the backstretch. It is coach Jerry Glanville facing the wrong direction.
That's a great break for P.J. Jones. Gets a lap back.
They do not race back to the yellow flag in NASCAR truck racing. Elton Sawyer, who sat up to the firewall in concrete last Saturday about this time in Bristol, watching them race back to the yellow flag and almost run over you. I wonder what you think of that rule.
Well, Dave, I tell you, I think we should leave the racing to the green flag. When the caution comes out, there's a problem on the racetrack. I think we need to slow down. Hold your position. Double file restarts like PJ there. He worked really hard, got up ahead of the leader. Caution came out. Boom. He's got his lap back. Let's don't race back.
Yeah, I'll buy that 100%. They wrote this rule book with a clean sheet of paper and thought the right rule was no racing back to the yellow. I say yes, and let's apply it to Winston Cup as well, and also to Busch Grand National. So PJ gets one back. Let's see, 123. I'm not a rocket scientist. What is it, 77 laps to the finish. He's going to have a tough time doing much more than that, but he's going to scramble right back up front, trying to get another one.
If those guys, yeah, that's courtesy. If they let him, if the other trucks that are more laps down, they just let him go back up there. That's a great move. If he can get another one back, get a caution, he'll be back in this thing.
Hornaday's out tired of looking at you over there, boy. Hornaday had come back from 3 laps down in a Southwest Tour race on his first track in the car, pit races, to win it. This is truck racing, and as we go back to green, Corelli is second behind the lapper Jones. The scramble for position behind them, and this is going to let Hornaday open up a gap. But here comes PJ trying to get another one back.
He's down there. He's side by side with Hornaday. Ron needs to be real careful here. That's a truck that's 2 laps down, but yet he don't want him to get back in the lead lap because he could be a contender.
Uh-oh, trouble behind him.
Big crash.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks involved, and as they come back around, they are smacking off turn